in this question we are given that the recordings of jazz and blues, it accounted for 6% of 840 million revenue from the sales. Now let's convert the data into a tabular form, which will be a step 1. So we have for the year 2000 that the revenue is 6% and the sales is $840 million. Now we are asked to find out the revenue from the sales of jazz and blue recordings in the country in the year 1998. So we have to find the value of R in the year 1998. Now this is all the information that we have from the question. So we now move on to step 2. Now in step 2 we first analyze the statement 1. So the statement 1 tells us that the recordings accounted for 5% of the revenue from the sales in 1998. So the year is 1998 and the amount of revenue is 5%. But this information is not sufficient since we do not know the value of sales in that year. So we can say that statement 1 is insufficient. And from the options given to us, we can eliminate options A and D. We now check the sufficiency of statement 2. Now in statement 2 we are given that the revenue from the sales of jazz and blue recordings, it increased by 40% from 1998 to 2000. So if R is the revenue in the year 1998, now there is a 40% increase in the revenue. So we can write this as 1 plus 40 by 100 multiplied by R of 1998. This should be equal to the revenue earned in 2000, which will be 6% of $840 million. Now this is a linear equation in R, so we do not have to solve it because we just have to answer the question if we can find the value of R from the given statements. We can conclude that S2 is sufficient and hence the correct answer is option B.